This is America's Roundtable from Washington, D.C.
And Governor Huckabee, you have clearly articulated a concern about voting in America in the sense that there's a great many of our fellow Americans who decide to be on the sidelines. And according to NPR in 2020, some 80 million Americans did not vote in the presidential election. And you have communicated that some 40 million evangelical Christians do not vote in a presidential election. In fact, this goes beyond apathy. Governor Huckabee, why is that happening today? And what is your message to Christians who say, on one side, they deeply care about our local communities, they pray, but yet are missing on election day?
That's like saying I really care about my church, but I'm never going to go and I'm not going to contribute any money. Well, obviously, you don't care very much if that were the case. If people say, I love my country and I want it to do well, but I'm not going to vote, they're not being honest. They're being very dishonest. When people sit out an election, they're not only failing to exercise a right, they're failing to exercise a responsibility. 40 million self-described evangelical Christians don't vote in a presidential election. I want you to think that if half of those people, just half of them, would vote, it would change the outcome of every election from school board to the White House in every district, every county, every state across the entire United States. I do not understand why people would assume that they don't have a responsibility to vote, and then they don't like the government they get. But what they end up with is a government they deserve, not the one that they wanted. And the government that says to one's granddaughter or daughter, hey, she's got to go and undress in front of a biological boy in the locker room. And she's expected to accept that without question. And she's expected that she's supposed to be okay if that boy undresses in front of her, violating her modesty and her privacy and her sense of dignity. And somebody says, well, I wish those things didn't happen. But if you didn't vote, you helped make them happen. So I'm not sympathetic with people who call themselves Christian believers, but who refuse to go and exercise the simple premise of voting.